Mavericks in the second round.
Oh boy. Who could have predicted this? Actually, most people did. Honestly, this Clippers team is just beyond saving. They're such a lost cause, really. It's just sad. I mean, you go back and see Kawhi's 2019 playoff run with the Raptors, and you're like, how did this even happen? I mean, bro, dude won a championship, played fully healthy in this run. Like how did the Raptors pull this off, really? It's one of those things that I have to explain to people because the Raptors were just a very good team even without Kawhi playing. I'm pretty sure the season that he left to go to the Clippers, Raptors had their longest win streak. Not just that, the Raptors also were 17-5 without Kawhi the season that they won a championship in 2019. Not just that, they had the highest win percentage in franchise history back when Kawhi decided to be a Clipper. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard's Clipper decision is quite interesting. I honestly think that you could say it's a mistake, you could say it's not a mistake, but he wanted to be back home. That's really what it was. Kawhi Leonard was trying to be back home in LA. And one thing I will say, the Raptors in 2020 looked just as good enough, if not better, during the season than they did in 2019. Look, obviously the Raptors now aren't as good as the Clippers are, right? So you could say, oh, I mean, you look at the Raptors, look how they mismanaged their assets. You could think, oh, maybe they should have gone after Kawhi Leonard more aggressively. Maybe Paul George should have been traded to the Raptors. And yeah, apparently Paul George was offered, to be traded to the Raptors by, the Thunder GM Sam Presti. It's one of those things I always look back on and think, should the Raptors have traded for, Paul George and Westbrook? The trade was centered around Siakam, apparently, and obviously it was going to be Van Vliet involved in the trade. Maybe OG was going to be added. Apparently, the starter package for Paul George was Siakam, Van Vliet, and 4 unprotected first-round picks. Yeah, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. Raptors probably dodged a bullet here. They would have probably oversold for those two players, who right now, I just don't know if Paul George and Westbrook, honestly, I'm sorry, but I got more to say on this team. Obviously, Paul George had a career year in 2019. He was top 3 in the MVP voting. He was also top 3 Defensive Player of the Year voting. I mean, this guy just had a career season. Averaged similar numbers than MVP Kevin Durant. Offensively, averaged 28 points a game. I don't think we've seen Paul George average 25 plus in a season since, right? This guy has been, he was on a heater that year.
One more time.
Does that shit say reign over LA? Kawhi, there was the whole crown keychain on the car. Bro, what is going on here? Kawhi was basically coming here trying to say he was the king of LA. Who remembers the bubble? Oh boy. These motherfuckers had a 3-1 lead on the Nuggets in the bubble. I know everybody remembers this series. This was the one year Kawhi and Paul George were both healthy for an entire playoff run, right? Obviously, they lost in the second round. They robbed us of a battle of LA. It was actually pretty sad. I was pissed because I was ready for Clippers Lakers to be on my TV screen during the 2020 bubble. It's so sad because this roster was set to be the deepest roster in the NBA. JaMychal Green, Zubac obviously being much younger, Rodney McGruder, Terrence Mann, Landry Shamet. Is that Jerome Robinson I see on my fucking screen? Yo, dog, I don't know how this team is supposed to be the deepest team. Bro, looking back, bro, we were all smoking crack. Holy fuck. That 2021 Clippers team, although their record isn't as impressive, oh my gosh, they did end up going to conference finals. This was their most successful season playoff wise. Kawhi unfortunately ended up getting hurt. We'll get more into that because Kawhi Leonard, yeesh, it's so nasty. They ended up playing in the conference finals against the Suns, who obviously they ended up winning against the Clippers. But obviously, the Clippers were missing Kawhi in that series, right? And that's another thing with this team, right? Like I said, the only year they were healthy throughout the playoffs, right? 2020, the bubble. And this guy, Kawhi Leonard, he can't keep getting away with this stuff, man. He just can't. Obviously, he missed the whole season in 2022, right? Didn't play because he had an ACL injury that happened in 2021. Then the 2023 playoffs, only plays 2 games because he has a torn meniscus. And then in 2024, just like last year, plays 2 playoff games. Not just that, but the playoff games he played in, he wasn't so good, right? He wasn't so impactful, right? You see the numbers here, 12 points a game, right? That's just that he hasn't had that many points since his rookie season, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, his rookie season's the last time he scored under 13 points a game in the playoffs. Kawhi Leonard, man, what is going on here, bro? You're not looking like a first option, nor you're not even looking like a good third option. What the fuck is going on, bro? Can't even stay healthy now.
You see something even bigger, even more consequential here for Los Angeles.
I think wholesale changes should take place. This team, listen, I'm done with this team. I'm done with this team. They lose the series, I'm done with them. Listen, let's take into account the consideration. Number one, you got Kawhi Leonard locked up. He's the worst superstar you could possibly have because he's hurt half the time, and the other half the time he does nothing to market the sport and your brand, okay?
let's give it up for Stephen A. Smith, man. Let's give it up for him because he actually has been correct here. He actually has been correct in assessing the situation. Kawhi Leonard is your superstar. Kawhi Leonard can never stay healthy. Kawhi Leonard obviously doesn't do anything to market the brand of the NBA other than just play basketball, right? Kawhi, really, why are you even paying him to play basketball games during the regular season, knowing that he'll get hurt in the playoffs? Is that what we're doing? He hasn't been healthy in the playoffs since 2020, right? It's getting annoying. It's getting annoying to watch. As a Kawhi fan myself, it's getting annoying to watch. Stephen A. Smith being right on this makes me sad. But this dude Paul George, bro. This dude Paul George is who I have the most problem with. He is the one that I just hate the most out of everybody, bro. Okay, so he put up 7 points in the game Kawhi played. Wow. He put up 22 points in a game Kawhi didn't play. He put up 33 points. Okay, game 4. Oh. Can't even put up 20 points. Can't even shoot above 35% in the next 2 games. Come on, bro. You're supposed to be that guy, bro. What happened to that? You turned 34 as well the day before this game 6, and this is how you go out on your 34th birthday. You are a loser. Paul George, I'm done with you, man. Where's Paul, though? I hate the fact that this meme has now a greater meaning than it should have. Paul George, you knew what you were doing here. It's as if you knew that the basketball gods were going to curse you after wearing this costume on October 31st. You knew something was going to happen with your team. That's why you didn't sign a contract yet, right? That's why you're still trying to see if you can even stay in this franchise. You might even want to go to a different team. You might even want to go and play with Embiid or something. I don't know. This fucking Waldo ass always disappears in playoffs, bro. I hate it here, bro. I'm not even a big fan of this guy, but he disgusts me. Like, I feel disgusted on behalf of Paul George fans, man. Brandon Miller, I'm sorry. I'm sorry this is your GOAT, bro. I'm really sorry, bro. Then they got this Russell Westbrook dude, right? Obviously, the whole, Lakers trade that happened to get Westbrook was already a mistake to begin with. Then, they sort of fix things by trading away Westbrook. They get D'Angelo Russell, they get Vanderbilt, they get Malik Beasley. They end up playing in the conference finals in that year, right? So things look good for the Lakers. Who the hell were going to pick up the scraps of Westbrook's corpse? Well, it was going to be the Clippers, and not just that, the Clippers, it's weird because the Clippers, they even think much of Westbrook after picking him up.
It's 2017.
That's how you go to work.
That's how you go to bed. That's how you go to bed right there.
Here are every playoff game that he's played in 2023 versus the Suns. Obviously, you have that 2 games where he scores over 25 points. Actually, 3 games. What the fuck? Yeah. He had to play above his pay grade because Paul George and Kawhi, I think, didn't play the series for the most part. And you have Westbrook basically taking on a huge load, right? And he's having to, obviously take a lot of the shots here. He's making his threes in these couple games. Peep the field goal percentage in game 1, 3 of 18. Peep the field goal percentage in game 5, 3 of 19. This is Westbrook. Yeah, this is the worst of both worlds here, really. It's really sad. And in this year's playoffs, this guy ended up having a game where he scores 1 point and where he doesn't even make a single field goal in the game. Okay, yeah, this guy, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. When I saw these tour dates, yeah, that's what I'm gonna call them, right? In game 2, Westbrook basically shot a tour date of February 9th, right? In game 3, he shot basically a tour date that doesn't exist. 0-7, that's not a date. There's no zeros. So game 4, he shot February 8th. Game 5, he shot February 11th. And game 6, he shot February 7th. This guy, for some reason, wants to do his tour dates around the same week, bunch it up in the same week. It's interesting, Westbrook. Why do you do this to yourself? This motherfucker, Harden, what a loser. What an absolute loser. Look at the last 2 games. 2 of 12 and 5 of 16. February 12th, the day after Westbrook's last tour date. And then you have May 16th. Wow, Harden. What an absolute trash show. 0 of 6 from deep as well, by the way. He is one of his last 13 from the 3-point line for the Clippers. And not just that, but he had a game where he had 33 points and people thought, oh, this is the Harden that we want to see. Game 1 and game 4 Harden, you should not be fooled by this. This bearded motherfucker is always going to choke at the end of the day. He's just not built for the playoffs. We all know this, right? And I know Harden fans are gonna, have their panties in a bunch. Guess what, bro? Your boy's just not it. I know he's not supposed to be the main guy, and he basically had to do more than he should have because Kawhi was hurt, and Paul George is a weenie loser. But guess what? So are you, James. You're no different than everybody else. They're supposed to have this new dome Dome built where the Clippers come and play next season. This whole Intuit Dome, the new arena. This is going to be where they host the next All-Star game. Actually, not the next one. That's going to be in San Francisco. But in 2026, they're going to have the All-Star game in LA. And all this to say, Kawhi Leonard is extended for this team. So he'll stay with this team for the next couple of years, I guess. Yeah, and he'll probably retire after that contract. At this point, he should. I don't think I want to see Kawhi play basketball anymore. I'm at that point where it hurts to see this guy always get hurt in the playoffs. I'm tired. Okay? Kawhi, you probably should have stayed in Toronto for at least an extra year. At least get yourself an extra year, an extra chance at a ring. Because in LA, I know it's hindsight 2020 stuff. I know, yeah, this shit is not aging well, bro. It's not aging well. And the Raptors actually had a good chance of winning the championship during the 2020 season. Even this dude, Waldo, Paul George, this guy, again, like I said earlier in the video, he might leave LA. He might go to a different team. He wants a max contract. He still thinks he's that type of player. Paul George, I think, is not just delusional, but I think he's a loser. He's a serial loser. The loser that is Paul George, I don't want to see him ever even try to be a first option. He needs to be a second option somewhere, or even a third option. I'm not even sure if he can carry the load as a second option anymore, right? He can't even get bad guys anymore. Has a hard time even trying to create separation. He's done. He's cooked. It's over. Oh yeah, and shout out Dallas, bro. Shout out Dallas for finally conquering their demons, overcoming this Clippers hurdle that they've had over the last couple of years. Finally, Luka has one over this team. He finally has one, even though he didn't have a good series to his standards. I'm looking forward to what Dallas is doing in the next round. I think they could beat the Thunder, but OKC, they're a good team. I'm not going to try to underestimate them. They could make it interesting. They could probably surprise everyone and beat the Mavs in 5. We'll see. I'm not going to say too much about that series yet because I'm waiting to see how it unfolds. I might have to make a video on that Nuggets series because I don't know, man. It might be over for Jokic? Question mark? Okay, I'm done. All right, peace, guys. Have a good one.